Hello, everyone. Welcome back in our Power BI journey. So, what we are going to do now, we are now moving towards some of the complex and the most important commands in the DAX, and that is the calculate and calculate table. And I let tell you one thing, that if you get a command on the calculate function, you're gonna not only master the Power BI development but also the analysis services of Azure, because the now the new cube technology, which is offering by Microsoft, is based on tabular model, which is obviously encapsulating the old model underneath, and providing you really easy interface to build new layers and new cubes based on your dimension and facts. But that's something which we're gonna see in the future. Right now, if these two commands, calculate and calculate table, they are going to be the most important function of DAX language that we need to master to build any sort of professional dashboard capabilities into our enterprises or businesses. So let's start what calculate and calculate table does. So we know whenever uh, put anything or any measure on our dashboard, it execute within some filter context. So there is nothing on our Power BI dashboard which is not executing under a certain filter criteria, even though if you are not defining the filters on your Power BI dashboard, your calculation are still executing under the filter criteria, because those filter criteria may be subjected to all, and all means consider everything while we are evaluating the measure on the Power BI dashboard. But what calculate does, in most of the cases, we might need to override the existing filter, and we need to define our own filter to execute the expression. So that's where wherever we have that need, we're going to actually use the calculate, because what calculate does, it overrides the existing filter and it defines a new filter context, and then it executes. So for example, you just create a measure. For example, you are calculating the sum aggregation of your total sale. Now, once you place that measure on your Power BI dashboard, that will calculate this total sum by looking at all the filters which are applied on the Power BI dashboard. However, if you want to override those measures, so for example, if you want to calculate the sum of your sale by a one particular product. So for example, you want to calculate the total sale by, let's say, clothing, or you want to do it, for example, by perfume. So any other item that you want to include, you can, right? So that's a special filter that you want to apply. Calculate help you to achieve that part, and that is very common requirement, and you have to do again and again, depends upon what kind of requirement you are getting back from the business. All right, so enough talking. Before we jump into our dev environment to show the practical implementation, let's go through the slides first. So like I mentioned, calculate new creates a new filter context based on the set of filter argument, because obviously it can't be only one filter argument that is required in most of the cases. So you have the opportunity, you can apply as many filter as you can, but expression is only going to be one. So whatever expression or whatever function that you are trying to calculate or evaluate, that's going to be a single function, and then you have a full length of argument that you can provide into your calculate function. Therefore, we have as many parameters as we can mention. Calculate will accept all of them. So now by saying it, let's see the syntax. So the syntax is pretty simple. We have the calculate command, and then we need to provide the expression, and then after expression, we separated it by comma, and then we have first condition, second condition by they are also separating by comma, all the way if we have end condition. So that's pretty clean syntax that we are going to now see into our dev environment. Now, enough theory. Let's jump into our dev environment to see calculate in action. So let me share my screen from the dev perspective. Yeah, I'm back into my dev environment. So what we are going to do now, let me first show you a very simple calculate example. So what we are going to do, we are going to calculate the total sale. So if I just click in here, so we have these two. I'm just looking for, and now you can see, like I mentioned, in the premium version of Power BI, you can separate you can group your measures, which is obviously not available in the free version or professional version. And in most of the dashboard, they are very helpful because that will help you, excuse me, to group your measures together, and they are easy to manage and easy to locate. So let's start with a very simple calculate example. We are going to, apparently it looks quite complicated, but it's not. Because if you remember, we have already discussed the iterators. If you don't understand this, please watch my iterator video. I'm going to put the link into the description. So iterator actually evaluate the expression row by row, and then it return the value. Right. So now once we apply the calculate on any existing function. So this part we have already understand or discussed in the previous video. So we are clear on that. Now, what we are going to do, we are using calculate, and we are providing an additional filter where we are seeing. And once I'm saying additional filter, there is a reason why I'm saying the additional filter, because I'll show you something later on. Just keep in mind, if we want to now apply additional filter or define a new context, we just need to provide the filter condition. So now you can see in here. So for example, I just want to see the total sum of total sale, which is obviously the order quantity by the unit price, but I only want to see it by road 650. That's the model name. So it's the bike model. So I just want to see the total sale for this particular amount. So now what's going to happen, once the Power BI evaluated, it's just going to apply that filter. And based on that filter, it's going to filter the row, and then it's going to evaluate your expression. So your value is going to be, so your measure is going to be based on this particular model name, right? So now let me show it to you. So we have already written it. Let me just enter it. There is no syntax, so we are good to go. And now let me take it on the y-axis. So you can see, and by the way, we can go and we can show the data labels. So at least it's gonna, so you can see we have 7.5 million amount, right? So we can confirm it in here as well. So let me see if I can find it out. So you can see we are getting road 650. It is rounded to 8 million, because if you remember, we discussed that if we won't mention the decimal point, the value has automatically round to the nearest figure, which is not right in this case, because it is just adding $300,000 or maybe over $200,000. So it's better to put it into decimal point. So let's fix this so we can align it. So in here, so we have already opened that. So we are showing the data label, and display units is auto. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add 2 decimal place. So now it's all good, right? Or even I can, I can do, let's do this. Yeah, we have 7.7 in here, we have 7.5, and I'm going to actually show you why we are getting, oh, by the way, that's the total product cost. Sorry, that's not the sale. That's the product cost. The total sale we are getting is 7.5 million. So obviously this product is not uh, very profitable for us, but that's not the topic. The only thing I'm actually showing to you is the comparison. So let me also see that the total product cost which we have in here. Yeah, so you can see in here, we are just calculating the sum. And by the way, that's the single attribute. However, the other side, we are just multiplying it, the order quantity multiply by the unit cost, right? So obviously there is a problem. We are not getting good profit on that, but that's not the topic of the video. So we can see there's no comparison in here. Even what I can do, let me see if I have yeah, total sale amount. Let me just let me go and see. Yeah, I think that's the one. And I'm going to just bear with me. I'm just going to show you the exact amount. Yeah, and yeah, now they both are matching. So I think that's a better representation because it's not going to confuse. So you can see in here, there's only difference. So in the previous video, we have already discussed the iterator. So now you can see in here, we have already calculate the total sale amount, and then we are applying in here. And in here, we still have in the iterator, we have the capability that we can apply the filters, right? But calculate give you an additional opportunity that you can override those filter, and you can apply more filter on top of those filter, right? So right now, because we are just using 650, so you can see this graph now it is matching with this bar that you can see in here. So let me just click in here. You're gonna see there is no change in here, and let me show it to you. What does that I mean, once I say that we override the existing filter, let me just select the row 250. Now you can see every value has been changed except this bar, because this value has already its own filter defined, and they are not going to take any additional filter from outside. So that's where the calculate is very powerful. So that's the a very simple example of applying the calculate function into your Power BI dashboard. And you can enhance, like I mentioned, you can enhance with any sort of expression that open a lot of doors for you to define any sort of calculation or measure into your dashboard. So hopefully you will understand the concept of calculate. Feel free to post any question. If you have, more than happy to answer. Otherwise, I'm gonna see you in the next video with another example of the calculate function. Thanks for watching.